Do you have any tips for a buyer who's trying to find a fixer-upper or an undervalued home in the Wildwoods? Is there any strategy?
Is there any tips for a buyer? Well, I think at the end, you have to start with number one. When you say fixer-upper, what is your definition of a fixer-upper? And I think that's always the key place that we like to try to start, because people say, I don't mind doing work, I don't mind fixing it up, I'm handy. Okay, so are you looking for, what does that mean? Are you good with electric? Are you good with plumbing? Can you rock, tape, mud, and paint? Like what's your, do you do floor? You're a carpenter. What is your definition of I'm handy? Well, I like, I can paint, I can replace a faucet here and there. Okay, so you're not the fixer upper. You're going to have to hire a contractor and bring them in. So when you establish a price point, how much money are you looking to put into the property? Who's going to do that for you? What's your return? What sort of, are you looking for 10%, 15, 20% return on your investment after your costs? I think that's where those are some of the things that we look at when we have a buyer that comes to us from the standpoint of, I'm looking for a fixer-upper. What does that entail? How much is that person or those people going to do? How much work are they going to do, and how much do they need to hire someone else to do that work for them? I think that once you can establish that, then you can start to move forward with regards to fixer-uppers or flips or anything like that.
Do you ever see someone get involved with a fixer-upper that thinks they're making a big financial win and then they're in over their head?
I can say I have not experienced anyone at this particular time that has come in, purchased a property, had to do the work, and then all of a sudden it becomes, I got to sell this, but I'm not going to make any money. I think as long as you establish a budget that you're going to have, how much return you want, how much ROI, return, whatever acronym you want to use, on that, then you're okay. It becomes if you start in the very beginning and you've already overpaid for the property, that's where you're already going down a slippery slope, because the beginning has started overpriced, and now you're looking to put more money into it to maybe get something that at the end of the day you're not going to get that number in the market once you fix it up. So that's where the trouble starts.
And would you say, like, we're near the ocean, so there's certain wear and tear on any property.
Sure.
Is this a pretty good market for finding fixer-uppers? Like,
is this a pretty good market for finding fixer-uppers? The problem that you run into is that you're not alone in finding the fixer-uppers. I would say that they're still there. You have to find them. You do have to find them now. I would say probably 4 or 5 years ago, absolutely, people getting in, especially if you had a property, pre-COVID. My God, 5 years ago. If you had purchased something then, or even 2020, 2021 that needed a lot, that needed work and stuff like that, like there was so many of them out there, and people really did take advantage of that. They got in, they were able to fix them up and flip them for a really good profit, or keep them for a year or two, and then, the last 2-3 years really fix them for a great profit. There are still fixer-uppers out there. There truly are. I think what you have to start to take into consideration, though, really is what we were talking about before, like with your margins. Whether it's a fixer-upper or a new construction, prices have gone up. So the property price has gone up. The materials have gone up. the labor to fix the property has gone up. So there's so many other aspects that go into the fixer up that, again, if you start in the beginning and you're overpaying for it, in the first place, or let's just say you're not overpaying for it. Maybe you found it, you found a great deal, and everyone's always looking for a great deal. It becomes, what do you want to do with this property? How much of it do you want to fix up? And then what are your costs to do that? And then that's where, and if your ROI is, if your return is reasonable, you're looking for maybe like 10-15%, you're not being greedy, you can make it work. However, I think because it's not just the real estate that's gone up in value, it's everything that's going along with it. To make that better is also more expensive.
Yeah.